Hello, ladies and gentlemen, team owners of the Century League. Here we are. Week 13 is upon us. I have Week 12 highlights here. Going into 13, Nico T will be doing Week 13 previews and highlights. Here are highlights Week 12. NFC Game of the Week. Billy's boys go to Chicago, take on Ron's Bears. Comes out with a win by 40 points in this one. Bill played all the right players on his team for Dallas, and then Ron's Cowboys players ended up being a dud. So there's a catch-22 there. Cowboys win. Fall short, though. Seattle did win this week. Johnny's Seahawks making him win the division. Dallas is going to come in second, fighting for that top-tier playoff spot. Billy, you're not out of that top-tier playoff spot. Right now ranked 10th. With a win, you can move up. Joshua's Pats go to the Colts Stadium. Steve puts together a win. The Colts led by Sam Darnold and Calvin Ridley. Colts put together a good win here. Takes the Joshua's Patriots down. This is the upset of the week. And the Pats are not out, but they did lose the divisional lead to the Cleveland Browns with that loss. Steve's Colts have a best shot, if they win this coming week, to win the spoiler award, coming on strong here at the end of the season. And then the AFC Game of the Week was meant to be much closer. Chiefs and the Oilers. Brandon fell way short. Connor scored 170 points in this game. 5 players over 20-plus points. He can't do that every week, guys. He is the favorite to win it all this year by the looks right now. But we have a one-week playoff. So you have a bad week, you're going to lose 1 week per playoff round. So it's all the marbles. You have to line them up right. Sometimes when you have too many good players, you just don't know exactly who to play, and you play the wrong one. So Connor is favored. Everybody probably feels that right now. But the playoff format allows for different things to happen. So Chiefs do win, and they win the AFC West division. Important games, however, next week. The dog of the week, the Giants over the Raiders by 70 points in this one. Bash had no problem with Prentice Raiders. Pack over Detroit. Packers are sitting there, have a chance for my Packers to win the division, but they have an uphill battle with the Giants this coming week. But the Pats win over Detroit. Detroit, Nico T's Lions, with a win this next week, I believe can still make the top 8 board. I am not sure that. Don't quote me on that, or the top tier playoffs. And then the Rams over the Cards. Johnny's Seattle, as I said, Johnny's Hawks win their division by beating the Broncos. Broncos are one of the highest scoring teams in our league, guys, so they're going to win all the tiebreakers. Phil, don't give up. You still have a chance to make the top tier, and with your high scoring team, who knows what will happen in the playoffs. And then Cleveland Browns, Cody's back on top with a win over the Steelers. Here we are looking at the board really quick up here. Let's turn this around. And as we can see, the ties are not logged this year, but they will next year. It's great to have the parity that we have, but there you see the Giants are on top by half a game. They're a whole game over the Bears. Giants play the Packers. Bears play the Lions, I believe. Don't mark me on that, but previews will come next week with Nico. But that's the standings. Giants ranked 3rd, Pack. Bears 7, still in that top tier playoff. Hawks win the divisional title. Dallas sitting there ranked 10th at 6-6. A win puts them to 7-6, and the possibility, depending on what else happens, to make the top tier playoff. If you do not make the top tier playoff and you're in the 2nd tier, you still have a chance to finish on the top 8 board in the 2nd tier playoffs, but you do not have a chance to win it all. If you're in the top tier, you have a chance to win it all. That's the beauty of getting in the top 8. Anything can happen. There's your rankings. And then AFC East right here. As you can see, the Browns are barely ahead of the Pats. Important games this coming week. Colts and Pittsburgh both sitting there as potential spoilers. Play the Pats and the Browns subsequently. So those are great games to watch. And then finally, in the Pats here at number 9, they're on the border. They must win to get in the top tier. I do not know if the Browns will lose their top tier if they lose, but the Pats must win to get in that top tier. And then the Chiefs, of course, have locked it up. Oilers and Broncos, as I mentioned, even though the Broncos are 6-6, with a win, they'll win all tiebreakers to get on the final 8. They are sitting at number 8 right now. And then down here on my spoilers, if the Colts win, they are the spoiler winner. Likewise, if the Steelers wins, the Colts lose, they're the winner. Lions, Cards in that order. All right, guys, have a great week. Nico will be doing previews week 13 Thursday.